Hey guys, Mo Muller here, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the free and premium plugins that I use to set up pretty much all of my sites across my portfolio and the client portfolios that I help set up. Hopefully you get some inspiration from it. Let's get into today's video. So if you haven't already seen part one of this video, it was how to set up a site using buying a domain name, adding some hosting, and then adding a premium or a free theme. So feel free to check out that video. In this video, we're going to be looking at what happens next. So we've picked up our domain. We were happy with the domain name. We've hosted it. We have chosen a theme to use. And now we're going to add some really smart and efficient plugins. Now, these are the plugins that I use across, again, my own small portfolio that I have, and also any of the client portfolios that I add on, I manage with my agency. You go into their plugin menu and we make sure that their plugins have been configured correctly. It's very important in today's kind of industry and market to make sure that you have a very optimized and efficient site. The plugins that you use need to be correct, they need to be smart, and also if there's anything plugin wise that you don't need, they need to be removed because they can cause problems, they can take up space on the servers, and there could be nasty things that are hidden in them. So we need to remove those if they are not being used. Now, this is my client onboarding Trello board that I use whenever there's a new client that comes in. And we're going to go into the plugins that I use and add to all those sites. So let's check those out now. So I probably have roughly 20 or so plugins that are my baseline plugins. Most of these I would tend to use for definitely any new project or new website that I've started up. And then anytime I'm going to add in new plugins to a client site or maybe a site that I've purchased myself, I'm going to check against the plugin list that I have and make sure that they've been added correctly. So I'm going to go into each one very quickly individually so you can understand why I've chosen them and why they've made the list. And I'll add a few into a test site that I have so you can see how to use it. Okay, so the first one is called Ad Inserter. Now, as it says, Ad Inserter is a very simple tool, plugin that you use. And at its core is it just inserts some type of code into your website in the correct space. So it could be underneath the header, top header, it could be under the footer, it could be somewhere in the body. And that helps sometimes to validate sites with Google or actually what I tend to use it for more often now is to actually add units myself, so affiliate ads, affiliate banners, etc. into my side widgets or my main widgets, maybe in the body of the content itself to test against different images, different affiliate offers, and that works very well for CRO and conversion rate optimization. The next one is anti-spam. That one comes, I think, as default. So that will usually be installed for you when you install WordPress. The third one down the list is a image compression tool. So I usually use ShortPixel. Now ShortPixel compresses and optimizes images for you, whether you're importing images from a kind of free or a paid or premium stock photo file. It's very important that you compress the files down because if the server needs to serve the image and the image is too big, then it's going to slow down your website significantly, which is a ranking factor for Google. A slow website means Google's not going to rank you pretty much. So it needs to be fast and it needs to be efficient. ShortPixel is super simple to use. It has a free sign up as it says here. And then again, I generally like to keep the price of things that I pay for my plugins as low as possible because there's quite a lot of competition out there. And I find ShortPixel's pricing is really affordable. Next is a related post plugin. I use inline related posts. You can use anything really. It's just a way for people to be able to click onto a post that's related at the bottom of the existing post. Similar to Ad Inserter, I have an insert headers and footer plugin. That's usually just for Google Code to verify anything. Next on the list is Link Whisper. Link Whisper is a really important tool that I use for interlinking content between silos and between posts. Now, before it came along, I would have to actually do this myself, which meant I would have to go into my blog, into each and every single post, and then find the relevant post, add the URL, add it into the anchor text, and it will take a very, very long time. I remember those days. But when Link Whisper was first released, and now it's been open to the public for I think about 3 or 4 years now, it's fantastic. So essentially you can auto click on any of the internal links within your post and it will suggest and automatically add those links into related posts for you, which makes the interlinking process so much easier. I'd highly recommend it. Next on the list is Rank Math SEO. So Rank Math for me is probably the primary tool that I use for all of my on-page SEO. And for a wide variety of different website related project management and also website structural type of tasks. Generally what they are used for is SEO, on-page SEO, and there are a few other different types of on-page SEO tools you can use. I find Rank Math to be the easiest. It's free, and not only do they do fantastic jobs in terms of on-page SEO and giving you the tools that you need and the structures and templates you need per post, but they also give you fantastic tools to use to make your website faster, to make it index better, to help with redirection, and a whole variety of different tools. I couldn't imagine a site without using Rank Math as it is, and I use it all the time. Next on the list is AAWP. Now, this is a plugin that I use mainly for CRO, so conversion rate optimization, and it helps integrate everything with Amazon and anything to do with Amazon plugins or Amazon images, product tables, and anything to do with Amazon commissions. So again, there are alternatives to AAWP. I've used a few of the alternatives, and I just find AAWP to be the easiest to use. And it integrates seamlessly with your website and your blog. You do need to figure out an API code from Amazon, but you have to use that for any plugin that you use when you're integrating Amazon API into your website, and that can be a little bit tricky. But once you've got over that, you can just hit up their help and support if you need some help. Once you've got over that, it works fantastically to integrate your page and an Amazon affiliates code. So whenever someone clicks on your page or a post or an image, and then you get credited as an affiliate, and obviously you get a referral fee. So just to give you a super quick demo of what it looks like, they have comparison tables. So we're talking about different comparisons between Amazon products. They have single product boxes that you can use, and they have bestseller lists, and pretty much anything you need for someone on your website to click over to Amazon. It integrates and works perfectly. Next on the list is Total Upkeep. Now, this is a backup software and plugin that I use that backs up periodically the website to a server. So it could be server from your hosting itself. It can be cloud-based if you pay for like an additional cloud-based storage, or it can actually you can download it manually from the plugin itself. Now, parts of Total Upkeep are free, and then they have a premium service which gives you more access to more manual and also automatic downloads, which are pretty cool. I actually have 3 different security and backup plugins and softwares, and I'll show you what those are. BoldGrid is my first. I also do a manual backup every single month, and then there's one that does a daily cloud-based backup, and I'll show you what I use as well. So I would recommend at least 2. BoldGrid is pretty cool, again, because it's free and you can very easily migrate your site if you're looking to move it over somewhere else, or you can restore it if you're looking to go back to an original version. Now, the next plugin is, again, a security one. It's a WordFence plugin. You can install this directly on WordPress, and again, it gives you an extra layer of security, so people aren't just able to log in to your site, even if they have the correct logins and usernames. Next on the list is a table of contents tool that I use. Very simple to use. All it does is it gives you a table of contents that adds to the top or sometimes the middle of your post, and then people can click on the jump links in between those, and they can go down and see what's on the page. There are a few different alternatives. You can choose any one. They're usually all free, but you definitely need to have some type of table of contents because Google sees that as a ranking measure as well. Next on the list is a related post plugin, similar to the inline related posts. Again, you can choose either or. They're pretty much exactly the same, so that's another one that I use. And this is a pretty cool plugin that I use. It's called Better Search Replace. Now, what Better Search Replace does is it gives you the ability to change on the database level a little piece or a large piece of data. Now, one of the main things that I use it for, and there are a few things that can be used for, but the main thing that I use it for is to change affiliate tags. So for example, if I've just purchased a site and it has an old affiliate tag of whatever the affiliate tag is, if I'm looking to add my new affiliate tag in and they haven't used a plugin like AAWP where I can just use a code or the software itself, then I have to go into every single page and change the actual Amazon tag from whatever it was before, the previous owner, to my new one. And as you can imagine, if there's 500 pages and they're all commercial, that's going to take me and my team a ton of time. So instead, what you can do is you can do a database replace or search and replace, and it will take the old code or affiliate code that was existing on the site and change it to your new one. Now, of course, you have to use extreme caution when you're doing anything on a database level, and it's another reason why I mentioned having lots of backups. But if done correctly, it saves a ton of time and a ton of resources. And they also have dry runs, which essentially means you can test to see what happens without actually making the change, and then you can hit it live. Now, a few other plugins that I use a hide login plugin. So you can change the /WP admin to something different, so no one can log in because they don't actually know the correct URL, which is pretty cool. The Revive Old Post was a social media plugin that I used to use that I don't really use as much anymore. As I mentioned before, the themes that I use is GeneratePress for a free theme, or Astra for a paid theme, depending on what I'm trying to achieve and the angle that I have for the website. Either or is very good, but I generally like to use Astra because there's more customization, which is pretty cool. Now, here are some of the tracking tools that I use. So first off, I use Ahrefs for all of my SEO needs and tools. Ahrefs has a plethora of tools you can use as a blog owner and someone that's trying to rank websites. So if you haven't already got an SEO tool, then I would recommend Ahrefs. It is expensive, which is a bit annoying. But again, if you're looking to really gain as much data as you can from your own site and from your competition site, then it is really where you need to be. And the cool thing is they do have plugins that you can integrate and add into WordPress to do lots of different on-page SEO tasks and content audit tasks, etc. So it's very, very useful. Next, I use a tool called SERP Robot. It does one function that Ahrefs does, but a lot cheaper. And what it does is it gives you the ability to track your search engine results across Google and pretty much any other search engine. And it gives you the data behind all of that tracked information on a set time basis. So for example, you can set the SERP robot to go out and look at all the SERP results of your keywords every single hour or every single day or every single week. And it will go ahead into the SERP results and check to see where your position of your keyword is, and then give you some information and some data, whether it's gone up or gone down over time, which, as you can imagine, for a website owner, knowing exactly where the traffic is and where the keywords are ranking after doing lots of different audits and updates, etc., is incredibly important. They're pretty cheap to use as well. I think they have like a free trial as well, or they used to. Well, here we are. Yeah, so they have some free checkers that you can use, but I think it's like $5 or $10. I use it periodically, and they're fantastic. Way cheaper than Ahrefs for the same tool. And if you can't afford Ahrefs and you need to track your SERP results, then SERP Robot is the place to go. Next on the list is a plugin that I use called SiteBuddy. Now, what SiteBuddy does is it gives you, as it mentioned, actionable tips to make more money as an affiliate. But specifically what it does is it crawls all of your pages, whether those are informational or affiliate pages, and it gives you lots of information and data on where those pages are pointing to when it comes to Amazon affiliate pages. So if you have broken links, or if you have invalid tracking IDs, or even the wrong tracking ID, it will highlight all of that information into a data, into a table, and then you can go about and fix those pages, those broken links, and just make more money essentially. Because if your Amazon links are broken or incorrect, you're not going to make any money on those pages, of course. So again, I think they do have a free option. So yeah, I don't think it's that expensive. I think you can sign up for free. Let's check the pricing again. I've had it for a long time now. It's probably changed. So they're starting at $12 a month. And to be fair, you can probably do quite a lot in just a month. And maybe 2 months is the most you'll need at first for just one site. So definitely worth it to sign up to. And again, integrates perfectly into WordPress. And it's not actually a tool that integrates via plugin into WordPress, but it will give you all the information and data you need, and I'd recommend it. Now, 2 or 3 other tools that I'd recommend just at the end here. One is for site speed, and it's WP Rocket. Now, WP Rocket is the go-to that I use for all of my site speed and optimization and any caching issues that I have. I've used them pretty much from the beginning. They are a fantastic resource and a must-have for any of the sites that I own and client sites that I run. They are a little bit expensive, but any site that you run has to be fast. It has to be optimized correctly, and you have to make sure that all your caching and your CSS codes, etc., are correctly optimized. And WP Rocket does that with just a few clicks and a few setting adjustments within the plugin itself. So I'd 100% recommend it. In fact, I don't think there's any speed or optimization plugin that comes close. Now, on my list as well, I do have Elementor. I don't use it as much as I used to, and I do think generally any web page builders that go on top of your page generally slow it down. So if it's not the default Gutenberg or WordPress blocks, probably it's best to leave it and just go for a premium theme instead. But it's on the list just in case that maybe I need it or a client wants it. Now, last but not least is a security backup software and plugin that I use called BlogVault. And when I first started out, I never really had or paid for security or backups. I just didn't think it was worth it. As time has moved on, I've realized how important and crucial backups are. Seeing sites that I own and sometimes even client sites where people have made mistakes when they've changed and made modifications, or potentially they've been hacked and they haven't been able to get the correct version of their site back. It's priceless to have a daily backup of your website, and I use BlogVault because, again, they are not the most expensive, but they do the job in an efficient way, and the support is fantastic, and I can check just by going onto their dashboard all of the different updates for all of my sites, and it just gives you that peace of mind that you're not going to get without spending a little bit of money. So if you haven't got a backup, or at least 2, I would recommend, then check out BlogVault. They are a really, really good service to use, and I've never had any problems in restoring or migrating my sites with them. Anyhow, so those are the 20 or so plugins and softwares that I use to set up any of my own sites and client sites. I hope that's been really interesting for you. Feel free to add any questions or comments in the kind of comment box below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.